Welcome into episode 9 of the All My Dogs Eat podcast. I am your host, Anthony Raphael, here with the usual suspects, Chris Pagliaro and Jack Hafertepe. Guys, welcome in. How was the weekend?
You need a new line. You need something different. Usual suspects. We're always the usual suspects.
Have you seen the movie?
I'm getting bullied literally like 3 seconds
Yeah,
into
I'm
this
sorry.
episode.
Have you seen the Usual Suspects movie? Yeah.
No, I didn't even know that was a movie.
What?
Uncultured. Goodness.
That is bad on culture, and
Yeah,
that would be like your new favorite movie, other than Kevin Spacey's in it. But that's where we're pretty we're pretty anti Kevin Spacey on the pod. Long weekend. I've had my cousin in town, and so we've kind of just been hanging out. Not trying to not spend a shit ton of money by going out this weekend. Probably doing that next weekend. It was back to the 90s in Arizona today, so it was a little too toasty for me. So I'm feeling a little out of it. But yeah, Chris, how was your weekend?
I had the worst weekend of my entire life.
Yeah.
I woke up to my car being what I thought was stolen. Turns out it was just towed, even though it was in a parking space. And I got called in to do an emergency.
Where was it? Like at your complex?
Yeah, well, my car was at my complex.
Your car literally got towed from your apartment complex?
Yeah.
What?
Does it have the sticker on it?
Yeah, it has a sticker on it.
Are you making the complex pay for the towing?
Oh, trust me. I got a whole thing set up for them. I have $150 in Uber fees for the last 2 days that I spent driving around because I couldn't get to work. So I got called in at 5:30 in the morning to do an emergency surgery case because I was on call all weekend, and I go to because I had to be at the hospital within 30 minutes of getting called in. And I go walk outside of my apartment and my car is not there. And I thought someone had stolen my car. So I called the police and they were like, yeah, your car was towed like late last night and it's at this place. And I was like, oh, thanks. I'm like, do you have a number for the place? So I got the number for the place. And then I called him at work. He goes, yeah, it's here. And then he gave me this address. So I left work after the emergency case to go Uber to the place to get my car. Turns out he gave me the wrong address.
Goodness gracious.
So I had to Uber back to the hospital because I got called back in to do another emergency case. So then I was at the hospital again from about 11 to 7:30 at night last night. And then I had one of my friends pick me up, drive me home. And then
you have friends?
Yeah. That's my 2022 hot take right there. And then again today, I got called back into work. I was at work from 7 to 4:30, and then I finally get.
So you got called in 3 days in a row?
2 days in a row, Saturday.
So you do have your car back though.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
The total fees were what, like $500?
$350.
Oh yeah,
Chris's car getting towed, sponsored by Land Shark. I'm just kidding.
Oh, we both have Land Sharks. I
didn't know that. Nice. And you watched
official beer of All My Dogs Eat.
You watched your first F1 race this weekend. How'd you feel about it?
Well, kinda. I was half watching it while I was eating lunch. Like I was at a weird angle. So I was watching it.
It was kind of a tumultuous weekend because basically, so on Thursday or Friday, I forget which one it was during practice, like a missile hit like an oil refinery like 3 miles away from the track. So everyone was like, we don't want to race. Because missiles and shit, and it ended up being like, and they like made him race because Saudi Arabia, my guess is they just fund a lot of F1 shit, just because that's dumb rich person money, right? And it was actually a pretty good race considering how shitty the track is, because there's only like 2 places where you can actually like go past someone, which kind of sucks track wise, and but it was also like so hot there that like 5 cars just overheated at the end of the race and like couldn't finish. And I don't know, it was a good race. The Bond villain won again. But
Max Verstappen.
Yeah. I hate him. And
I'm starting to learn some of the names.
Yeah, and it's so the big guy this year, it's gonna be Max Verstappen versus Charles Leclerc. And
nice.
Leclerc's all right. I prefer his teammate. Carlos Sainz is my favorite driver for Ferrari, but yeah, and it's interesting just because the Mercedes engine, which has dominated the last decade, is finally kind of falling apart, I guess, and you're kind of seeing the struggle. Lewis Hamilton's still the GOAT though, but we're going back to Australia GP pretty soon. So, and big news is next year during Thanksgiving is going to be the The Las Vegas Grand Prix.
Excuse me, sorry.
They're adding another American race. So there's going to be 3 U.S. races.
That's sick.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you guys should give it a shot.
I will.
That's all
I
I'm
promise.
saying. I think you guys would like it. I actually think Chris would like it more than you, but I do think you would like it as well. So I hope you guys give it a shot so I'm not always talking to an empty wall here. But then also, it's the Oscars tonight. I'll do more reaction stuff, I guess, Wednesday. And I don't know if you guys have watched any of the movies, but I know
I'll watch all of them between now and Wednesday.
the only one I haven't watched is Drive My Car, which I should have watched, but it's like 3 hours about.
Which is what Chris was not doing this weekend.
Hey, too soon.
I know DeBose won Best Supporting Actress, and that was like a lock. So that was a West Side Story one. There hasn't been anything else at this point in time that were big yet, other than like cinematography went to like Dune, which
Doesn't surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, Dune was great. I really
did like
liked
it.
Dune. A lot of people don't, but that's because they don't like
Kind of hard to follow.
talking.
Like,
Not
yeah.
really. I thought. It's just space politics.
Right. Yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones of space. It's just a lot of talking, and if it's well written, which it was, like, it's good. I'm just not a Chalamet guy, though. If I'm being honest, I'm always like, this dude just seems like he needs like to smoke some weed, but he's your own.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of good college basketball this weekend. Not today per se, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday was all like awesome. My
Purdue game was so fun to watch.
Yeah, my bracket that we redid on Thursday's episode went 10-2 this weekend.
Nice.
My only losses were Purdue and then
Miami.
Wait,
no.
You
might have went 11-1.
I think I went 11-1. No, because technically speaking, I didn't have.
Oh, you had Purdue. Yeah, you technically went 10-2. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I guess you could say 10-1, but I also lost the second one because Purdue didn't actually advance. So,
but it was, hey man, I got clowned when I said it. Villanova lock of the century, right?
Oh, 100%.
I was just, they're like, I don't know if they'll, they look kind of shaky earlier in the year. No, Jay Wright is that guy. I'd be shocked if they don't win, but Kansas does kind of look like a machine. So
I don't know. Yeah. Well, they also lost Justin Moore today. He's done for the rest of the year. So that hurts a ton. Yeah.
I just think when you're Villanova, right? Like,
they'll find a way.
They beat
UConn this year without him.
That game to me too, the Villanova Houston game, that was college basketball at its finest.
Yeah.
Just
50-44.
All out defense. They were shooting like under 30%. Like, that was quality. I do feel bad for Kelvin Sampson though. I really like him.
That was his first ever loss in the Elite Eight. He was 6-0 before then. That's insane.
Wow, that is really impressive.
Yeah.
I do like to, and it's not like he's some like Coach Cal either. Like, he's a dude who stayed at his program and has kind of built it up. I think, right? Unless I'm tripping about Kelvin Sampson. But...
No. There was a video that surfaced of him earlier this week, like going around Houston's campus, like telling kids like, come to our first game this weekend. This was like his first season. Everyone was kind of just like laughing at him, and now they're a prized possession of college basketball. Lost basically half their starting five, not all their starting five from last year, and went back to the Elite Eight. So impressive.
He's a fantastic coach. He really is. And I also think that Nova matches up really well against Kansas. I know we're kind of.
If we're being honest, though, all the coaches, it's like all the coaches at this point are all really good coaches.
Yeah,
it's like none of them feel like flukes.
If Kansas starts like they did today against Villanova, they're going to be in trouble. Though you cannot shoot like 45% from the free throw line in a game and expect to win against a good coach. So
I didn't realize he was the coach of Oklahoma and Indiana.
Yeah,
I was sick. I thought for some reason that Sampson has just kind of been there since he's team or some shit.
No,
I couldn't tell you why. I don't know.
If he feels like that, he just feels like he's been at Houston for a while. So I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, I guess my mistake, fellas.
All good.
But yeah, it's just like watching, like, truly how it feels at this point. At least to me, that's like more. It's like less player based this year, and all just who's coaching the best at the moment.
I kind of agree with that statement.
And I think Jay Wright's the fucking best in the land. But like, even Shaheed Holloway gonna get a fat bag. good for him.
Jay Wright sold his soul to the devil for this, but Coach K has sold his soul and probably his wife's at this point for how he's marched through this bracket so far. I mean, I tweeted this out earlier from our account, but Coach K's final season is this season. Like, you should know if you aren't living under a rock while you're listening to us today. This is his first matchup ever with North Carolina in the NCAA tournament.
This is their first matchup together ever
in the NCAA tournament. Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that's crazy?
Yeah, crazy. What just Ant just said. That's wild.
Yeah.
I know.
Thanks, Jack. You got my back.
Yeah.
If Duke wins, we'll get one of two things: a matchup with Bill Self in Kansas, which is there's two kind of separate storylines there. Duke is like fourth all-time winningest program, and Kansas is first. Kansas just took the leap in the tournament this year. Obviously Kentucky lost their first game and Kansas won, I think, their first two, and that was like the milestone they hit. And not Bill Self, but Kansas was the first team Coach K defeated to win a national title in 1991. So we're looking at a potential full circle moment here. If he plays Villanova,
God, I hope not.
If he plays Villanova, this obviously they have to be North Carolina still, but if he were to play Villanova, I could kind of see a little bit of like a changing of the guard kind of thing where he like is handing a torch to Jay Wright to just like kind of run through college basketball and turn in for the next like 40 years.
But that's what Jay Wright's been doing the last 10.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying like
he doesn't need Coach K's permission, dude.
I'm not saying Coach K's going to give him permission. I'm just saying like I feel like that's the trend. I
feel like that's just pulling a narrative out of your ass. Jay Wright's been the best coach in college basketball since like 2011. Like, it's passing the torch. Coach K had to pry the torch from his cold dead hands.
That's fair. This is also arguably the best term I can come up with. The blue bloodiest.
Is Villanova blue blood though? Like,
but I mean, even if they're not though, this is three of the four teams are for sure. Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, Kansas are blue bloods for sure. You could argue Villanova's
Villanova.
I don't think Villanova's a blue blood.
There's 6 blue bloods. It's Kentucky, it's Duke, it's UNC, it's Kansas, it's UCLA, and it's Villanova. Those are the 6.
Villanova, no, that's not true.
Yes,
okay,
let's say I want to say this: Villanova's a blue blood in the same way that like the New England Patriots, in the same way that like the New England Patriots dominate the NFL. It's a recency thing, but they're still there. Like you still have to accommodate.
But aren't you determine blue bloods by like high level recruits too, right?
No,
look at it mostly. You look at it
like just program excellence, and they are an excellent program.
Recency bias, yes. Historically, I would say no.
I would agree.
How recent are we going? 25 years. That's
25 years.
Too recent to me.
But when they won the championship, in the 80s, right? That was their only championship until Jay Wright, right? They were like the 7th seed or whatever. It's not like they were dominating that year. They just went on a run.
Who cares? Duke has won only 4 times in the last 40 years or whatever. 5 times in the last 40 years. I think it's
like 6.
No, it's 5. It
doesn't
matter. 5 or 6. Who cares?
It's 4.
Yeah, whatever. Coach K's overrated, but
because we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, and Jack was like 4 titles in 40 years is not impressive, and we were like, well, it kind of is. I mean,
1 a year.
I don't know. 10 years. Yeah, one a year.
I would just say it's like if Nova was like, is like Michigan State a blue blood? Like,
well, no, this is,
you know what I mean?
This is my point is even if you don't want to call Villanova one, we have 3 this year. And in the last 10-ish years, I looked back through a bunch of the Final Fours.
Clearly a blue
2012 was KU, UK, Ohio State, and Louisville. Louisville was and Ohio State were fringe, like they're not blue bloods, but they were fringe like elite programs in that day and age.
Probably.
But KU and UK are obviously blue bloods. We don't disagree there. And then in 2008, it was KU, UCLA, UNC, and Memphis. That's 3 blue bloods for sure. And then Memphis obviously was kind of a one-hit wonder.
Right, here's a game for us.
But that was a Coach Cal Memphis. So there's some kind of.
Oh, it's great. You know who's number 5 in victories in all of college basketball?
I do. Let me guess.
I just did a Google search. Just wasn't.
I was looking at this earlier, so that's why I want to guess.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We're just ignoring.
Every time I talk, everyone just all ignore me. So.
Yeah, because your opinion.
I want to say it's like. Damn. You know what? Just say it. I don't know.
It's me and Chris's hometown. It's Temple University.
Is what?
5th in all-time college basketball wins.
I thought you were talking about coaches. My bad.
Sorry, no. Yeah, I'm talking about complete program. They're 5th in
that doesn't surprise me. Back in the old A10,
they're old. They're 1895. So
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like Notre Dame's there. St. John's is 1908.
Doesn't surprise me there.
I would say, but like I would say Indiana's a blue blood over.
It's not a hot take.
Nova. It's just like,
yeah, that's fair.
Like if we look at football, right, it's just like I think there are older teams.
Well, like Nebraska's considered like one.
I was going to say Nebraska's
a blue blood. Nebraska's a blue blood of college.
Well, okay.
Arizona is Arizona blue blood?
No,
of college basketball. No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh, I'd say so.
Not yet.
Let me rephrase what I said earlier.
When did they last win? Like 06, 07?
That's still like somewhat recent. Like when was the last time Louisville won and it wasn't taken away?
Louisville's not a blue blood.
I'm just thinking of like
Louisville won like
Indiana.
Times.
When was the last time Indiana won?
I don't know. Long time.
1970. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Indiana.
We got to move on anyway. We got to just move on anyway.
Indiana is Nebraska, basically.
You know what? You guys comment or reach out about who are the blue bloods of college basketball.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think Villanova will be, but I don't think they're there now. I think it's truly just a Jay Wright, and then if Jay Wright retires and they're still good,
well,
maybe. But
that's fair, and that's, I guess, let me rephrase what I was saying about the passing of the torch thing. I think that's more what I was getting at in the sense of like taking over as another like a newer blue blood kind of thing, rather than obviously
Villanova, man.
They're fun to watch though.
No, I respect Jay Wright as a guy, even though he's just the Philly, like the American dream of Philadelphia, which is you work and then you have the off season, you just live at the beach at the Jersey Shore, and that's just
he used to come to my shop in the Jersey Shore all the time.
Yeah, I know. I remember when we were with you, you pointed out his crib.
Yeah,
it was like obviously it was super nice and more expensive now, but it like for the best coach in college basketball, you thought it would be like a 30-room mansion. It just looked kind of like a normal house.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they're all multi-million-dollar homes. So, but you're right. I
know. But I'm just saying for like Jay Wright though, like
yeah, you could have
like you think Coach Cal would be in that same house, and I'm sure when he bought it, it was probably like a little under $1 million, but. All right, moving on. We got to move on from basketball. Okay. Who do you guys, or do you want to predict our Final Four real quick? Or who comes
let's do it. So it's Duke, UNC, Kansas, Villanova. I'll go Villanova, UNC. I think UNC just completely ruins Coach K's like life.
I'm actually the same exact one. So you can.
I'm Nova Duke.
Yeah,
but I've been wrong all the last.
Kansas could kick the shit out of Nova.
Can you pick Kansas Duke, Chris, so we can have a Nova UNC final?
I don't want
Nova UNC would also be a fun one because it'd be a rematch of 2016.
I was just about to say
dude. If I'm being honest, if UNC got there, I feel like I'd have to pick UNC. They've been so just unbelievably hot.
Yeah, Brady Manick is literally like everything he touches is just
the money. Nova. The other thing too is just like they're so much bigger than Nova. That's honestly what killed St. Pete's today. It was just.
I'll say this. I want to see Nova UNC. I think it'll be Kansas Duke. I think Justin Moore is going to be a little too tough for them to overcome. He's their best defender and their best offensive player, arguably, or at least most talented offensive player.
Kansas has not been convincing yet.
I agree, but
I mean, today they routed Miami in the second half, but it took them a little bit to kind of.
I just think Justin Moore.
And also, really I will say, like, I mean, granted, when we said convincing wins all year, that Baylor was going to lose because of that, they did. But this does feel like kind of like a Bill Self redemption. I feel like everyone's kind of been the last year or two being like, "Hey, Bill Self's kind of ass because he just can't get it done."
I don't think it's a Bill. I'm
not going to lie. I have trouble seeing a reality that Coach K doesn't win it all. I'm like, we're this close. I have a trouble seeing a reality.
UNC.
I'm just spitballing. Like I think UNC's beat them twice this year. I think
they're the. I think Villanova and Kansas are better teams than Duke.
I agree.
And I think UNC's hotter. But like I said, I do think this is kind of like a Bill Self redemption. I feel like, and people are like, "Oh, he's only been to 4 Final Fours." Like for the classes he's had, I don't know. Like it kind of feels
he's never had like super crazy classes at Kansas. I mean, he had
Wiggins and Embiid.
Well, yeah, but Embiid, I feel like Embiid didn't play a ton, did he? Or did he start having his problems when he got to the league? I don't really remember.
It was like halfway through the year for Kansas, I think.
Yeah.
He still had Wiggins, who
I know.
He made Wiggins look like what everyone's saying the next LeBron. So
that's true. I just think we've seen Kansas do more.
Kansas, dude.
I think we've seen Kansas do a little more with less than we have with like the Dukes, the Kentuckys, the UNCs of the world. Kansas has done better with in-home recruits and turning, they've had some more like 3 or 4 year players than those schools have in the last 2 decades. So that's all I meant, but they still are getting elite prospects. So, but let's move on to baseball. Let's move on because we have 10 whole teams.
Be shocked if they weren't top 10 every year in recruiting.
Oh yeah, I believe they are. I just mean that they don't really ever get classes like that one, like the Duke getting Zion, RJ, Cam.
Well, like that doesn't matter because they lost.
Yeah. Oh no,
like,
no, I know.
I would give Billsoft a lot of credit. At least who is the center that they had for like 8 years?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Like I feel like they're led by like elite seniors.
Who is this?
Who's the Kansas center who just like never left? Like he just.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Was it like
kind of like
way or something?
Yeah, it was a Zubo or something like that.
Sorry for mispronunciation of this guy's name. I'm sure Ludwig's just yelling in his fucking mic. I feel like Kansas like is led by like those older guys, even though they get like some top recruits.
Remy's their vet right now.
Well, it's just like I'm saying, like historically, right? But
no, you're right. But I don't know. They're all very, very good teams, and literally, there's a case to make that every single one of them will win, and that's why this will be really fun.
Did you know Mark Turgeon played college basketball at Kansas?
No,
I did not know that.
I just found that out. But anyways, let's move to baseball and then once you guys get going on something else, I'll look for this guy's name.
Should we also do? I was thinking too. Why don't we do like off-season grades?
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah,
for baseball as well.
Okay, yeah, we can work that in.
Did we want
to be like, oh, this was their acquisition, B plus, B minus?
Yeah, let's do that. I like that. That's a good idea.
Do we want to
so today,
or no?
What? Yeah, we're on the Central.
No, do we want to skip it because they all stink? Or
no, we're not going to just skip 2 whole divisions.
They all stink.
He's just talking shit. They do all stink.
And it's not the NL East, dude.
They do. They suck. So
they suck.
There's 3 teams. There's 3 teams in these 2 divisions that can make the playoffs.
There's one good team.
There's also now, what is there, 7 playoff teams now? Everyone's making the dang playoffs. 6 or 7.
Oh my God, I'm so over you.
I'm so sick of these expansion playoffs.
I'm so sick of you. You and your fucking everyone makes the playoffs. You were bitching about that in the NBA 2 weeks ago when Jack missed.
I am kind of with Chris. I do kind of. I like it for the NFL.
Too.
I take that back. Actually,
I don't like it for the NFL. It's stupid.
Kevin, shut the fuck up. All right, Kevin's back, and it's kind of a double whammy being in a wheelchair and being dumb as fuck. So
bless.
And drunk, so
we don't condone.
They call him the bullying. Triple team right now. I'm sure Kev can come on my mic hammered and talk about the White Sox in a minute, but shut my door, and you can come on. I'll grab you for the White Sox.
That's our first team, so.
Yeah, Kev, you want to come talk about the White Sox? All right, Kev's gonna come and talk about the White Sox for a minute.
He's got to keep it reasonable.
He's not. I'm not letting him on. He just shut the door. I'm not. He's too drunk for this.
Good. Okay.
All right.
So we're starting with the White Sox. We'll start with the AL Central. We'll roll down through that, and then we'll hit the NL Central afterwards. So the White Sox in 2021 were a 93-69 first place team in the AL Central. I believe they lost in the divisional series to the Houston Astros. A series a lot of people were cheering for the White Sox because of Houston. Yeah, Houston.
Yeah, it's all right. We all hate Houston.
Yeah, so notable additions, Kendall Graveman, Joe Kelly, and Josh Harrison. So they added to the bullpen that kind of struggled in that Houston series. And then Josh Harrison will be a really good rotational player for them because he can kind of play a bunch of different positions in the infield, as well as he could play corner outfield spot. Notable departures, most notably, Carlos Rodon, who we'll touch on Thursday's episode as he joined the San Francisco Giants. And then they also lost Ryan Tepera, who they got in the trade with the Cubs when they traded Madrigal for Tepera.
separate trade. That was a separate trade.
Really?
It was Kimbrel for Madrigal.
I thought they got Tepera.
They did get Tepera just in a separate trade.
Oh, okay.
It happened earlier in the week, and then because the Cubs were having like a Kimbrel sweepstakes, and they grabbed Tepera first. But yeah, regardless.
So I gave their roster grade overall an 8.1 out of 10 with their strength. Even with losing Rodon's strength, this team is still going to be starting pitching in the top of their lineup. Their weakness is going to be their depth. I mean, it's still a really good team. I have them at 97 and 65, still in first.
They might hit 100 wins. They're loaded. The curse of
their division is so bad.
The curse of the White Sox is just their owner refuses to spend money. He absolutely refuses to do it, even though he's got just an incredible roster. Andrew Vaughn actually went down today, and he got carted off.
Oh, so I did not know that.
I wouldn't be shocked if they try and sign Conforto now.
They're already in the Conforto sweepstakes, I think.
They were early and they kind of got out of it, but now they need it.
Yeah.
So I actually thought starting pitching was their crutch last year in the series because they have the best bullpen in baseball and they kind of just added to it. The only thing that struggled for them last year was Kimbrel as an 8th inning guy, but they're just going to be do better. The big thing is they're actually moving Kopech. They let Rodon go, so Kopech can move into the starting 5, which is kind of risky because he had Tommy John in 2019. He opted out in 2020, and then he only threw 37 innings last year total. So it's just a massive workload upgrade for a dude who throws the ball really hard.
Another MLB The Show darling.
They're also kind of in trouble because I don't know if they have any top 100 prospects. I think their farm system is gone. So it's kind of like this is an all-in kind of situation for them. But Jose Abreu, really consistent. I mean, who's the shortstop? Anderson, stud.
Tim Anderson.
Moncada needs to step up. Moncada is kind of the guy who has been playing below average.
Well, I'll roll down their projected starting 9 or 10 if you want to count DH and starting pitcher. So starting on the mound, day 1, I have Lance Lynn. Starting behind the dish is Zach Collins. That bumps Yasmani to the DH before everyone loses their shit that I didn't fucking mention. Yasmani Grandal. Jose Abreu at first. Josh Harrison to Jay Hay at second. Timmy Anderson at short. Yoan Moncada at third. Eloy and Vaughn, which that will change now. Eli and Vaughn at the corners with Luis Robert. Up the middle, injuries plagued them last year too, losing Robert for the majority of the season, losing Eloy Jimenez for half the season. They're going to have to stay healthy because, like I said, their depth and their bench is not great. So I do think I have this team, like I said, winning 97 games. I think they do it, and I do agree. I think they add an outfield bat with Andrew Vaughn going down, especially if it's a semi-serious injury, but feels similar to last year. Now, he is no Eloy Jimenez, Andrew Vaughn. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying,
Vaughn's really fucking good.
No, I know, but I'm saying that just starting the season off the same kind of way that they did with Eloy being on the bench, being out.
I actually think it's near the same amount of impact.
I agree.
Andrew Vaughn's a really good hitter. Kevin was very upset. So I actually think Gavin Sheets is going to DH and Grandal catcher
probably.
And then I also see now with Andrew Vaughn out, it looks like Lurie Garcia could be outfield. I think the rotation is going to be a question mark. Lance Lynn and Giolito are both really good, but Lance Lynn is kind of getting older. But then it's Dylan Cease, Keuchel, and Kopech. Cease was solid.
Keuchel was solid, but
Keuchel was god awful. Keuchel is looking like one of the worst. No, he was really bad. He was 8-10 with a 4.7 ERA, and he was coming out of innings in the 4th or 5th inning.
That's fair.
Cease has the stuff. Just no control, which can be difficult if you're the number 3.
He was still young, so I think,
and that's another one where Kopech that's a lot of question mark there too. And it's the farm is depleted, so it's kind of I would go get Conforto for 1 year, just give him $20 million or some shit. I bet they'll just be in the market for a starting pitcher on the last year of their deal, so it's an easy swap, a mid to low 30s guy. So. They'll bolster it. They'll be at the what's your off-season grade?
Are we just doing this out of 10? Out of
No,
5 stars?
A's.
Oh,
A,
you want
B,
like
C. Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe like a C plus B minus, like losing Rodon hurts, but you added Graveman. Their offseason wasn't crazy. So I
It's
guess
a
like
D.
it's not
awful,
great.
awful offseason. It's like I said, the plague of an owner who won't pay. And it's just, you have an MVP candidate in Abreu and Robert. I mean, Eloy could be a silver slugger easily. Like Yasmani Grandal, the last like 2 months of last season was on.
Dude was a walk machine. He was hitting like 205, but his on base percentage was like fucking.
No, he was hitting 205, but then his average jumped up like 30 points in like the last. He just started mashing, man. And he was hurt earlier in the year, which attributed to that. But it's just like the team can be really, really good, and he just refused to put money down. And it's a shame because it's like Rodon basically left for a 1-year deal worth like $22 million. And it's like, I would feel a lot more comfortable with that than Keuchel in there. And I'd move just Keuchel as a long reliever. It's just, you got to just take the losses on that. But it's just a shame that you see a team that should be a World Series contender. And I don't think they made the moves to be a World Series contender, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. I kind of agree. My 22 season hot take is they will be an ALCS team. I mean, I have them making the ALCS in my hot take. Don't know if they'll win it or not. Obviously, I don't have a prediction of who they'd be playing or how they would get there, but that's my 22 season hot take.
Sorry, Chris, you were saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You guys can cut me off all night. It's totally okay. I don't even know what I was going to say. Move forward.
Cool.
I would say my hot take. I've got like a couple. I think Eloy is going to be the home run leader in baseball this year.
I like that. That's a good one.
That's my mix up.
Oh, so. Chris, I have a good one for you. White Sox or Mets?
Dude, the Mets. You got to get me involved, man.
Do you have anything you want to add to the Sox before we move on to the Cleveland Guardians?
Do you have any fantasy baseball players that are on the Sox? Chris?
I do. I have somebody on their team.
I think you have somebody.
I think I have Mangold. Where the hell is he? He's on the bench.
Who?
Nick. Oh fuck, he's on the Cubs anymore.
Madrigal?
Yeah, Madrigal. Sorry.
Did you say
Mangold?
Nick Mangold?
Mangold, yes, my dude.
The former Ohio State Buckeye.
The whole Jets lineman.
Yeah. So next up was
his sister was actually the swim coach at our high school.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wasn't his sister like trying to go pro in football?
I don't know.
What? I have no idea.
One of like the Jet. Who's the Jets center with like the blonde hair and stuff?
That was Nick Mangold.
Yeah, that was Nick Mangold.
Yeah, he had a sister who played college football.
Really?
And she was like, and she was aiming to be I just remember because it was like she was a beast. Like she was like Nick Mangold except a woman. So it was just
that's kind of tight.
I think she played like D3 though, so it wasn't, or like D1 AA or something like that. Also confirmed, Chris has no White Sox.
Oh, yeah.
One of that statements is false.
You, the viewers, get to decide which one.
I have 3 White Sox.
All right, go to the Guardians.
80 and 82, just a season ago. I mean, this is no joke. I literally have nothing for additions and departures. I think they have spent like exactly $900K in free agency. It's definitely an F in free agency. Their roster is top tier starting pitching, Jose Ramirez, and nothing else. That's it.
Well, they can pitch.
They've always been able to pitch.
That's my point. It's just they'll always have the pitching.
They pull right-handed starting pitchers out of the local orphanage, and
Jesus Christ.
I mean, all right, dude. Their starting rotation is this is a projected starting rotation is Bieber, Quantrill, Plesac, who I'm assuming is back now.
He is.
Savale and Tristan McKenzie, right?
It's nasty.
Tristan McKenzie is your number 5. Is like
McKenzie's nasty. He's on my team.
He is on your team. Let's play Chris's input.
I'm surprised you cut Luzardo. Speaking of,
I have so many good players. I don't know how else to cut.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say some dumb shit.
God, I hate the Guardians, man, because it's like they deserve a World Series. Like it
2016.
I don't know why they're owned except that year. dude, their owner's just such a fraud who doesn't want to pay any of their players. And it's just like, you're running out the worst hitting lineup in baseball, arguably. They're really bad. And it's just like, who is Steven Kwan? I've never heard of Steven Kwan. Andres Jimenez, may have heard of, but Miles Straw.
You know who Andres Jimenez is? That's my dog, dude.
And it's just like
former Met.
And it's just like, at this point, man, like, what are they doing? And it's now, did you see they're like refusing to trade Jose Ramirez? And it's just like what's I just don't know what the plan is. Is it just we're gonna pump out pitching, trade them for more prospects, and hopefully we get lucky with hitters? And I don't know, man. They're I hate them, and they're gonna be really bad.
I hate their team name. I hate the city they live in. They stink.
Chris, I cannot believe you kept JD Davis over Jesus Luzardo. That's a side point. You're on crack.
Awful. Yeah.
Do you know what team I represent? The New York Metropolitan.
You have
it may not be your team for that much longer.
Okay.
My hot take is I think Bieber leads the league in strikeouts.
My hot take is I think they deal Jose Ramirez before August. I think they.
My burning hot take is they realize how dumb their new name is and they change it again.
It is a dumbest shit name.
I have
that bridge right in front of the stadium.
It's got some gardens on it.
Yeah,
so that's our new stupid.
I have them at 81 and 81, improving by 1 game, but taking 4th place in the division this year.
I don't know if any team other than the White Sox in the division are over 80 wins this year. I will say lower than 81. They're bad. They're really bad. So
you want to? I'm going to run through their roster for game 1. You want to run through? Do you know them or not?
No. Okay. I actually know the majority of these guys.
Make the this is like a Chuck on the TNT broadcast.
Yeah. Okay. Shane Bieber.
Who they play for?
Oh, do I know Shane Bieber?
All right, Chris. Tell me if you know these guys. Shane Bieber, yes.
Yeah. Austin Hedges, yes. Bobby Bradley.
Where did Austin Hedges play last year?
Did he play with San Diego at some point?
Yeah. Okay. Bobby Bradley, stud.
Don't know him.
Andres Jimenez, you know him. Ahmed Rosario, you know him. Jose
Who's
Ramirez,
Cleveland's first baseman now?
Bobby Bradley.
Was it Bob? I think it was someone else.
Oh, last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Oscar Mercado. I know Fran.
It was Josh. I think it was Josh Naylor.
I know Josh Naylor. I just don't know Miles Straw.
Miles Straw was in Houston last year.
Yeah, I know Straw. I just don't know.
And then the Franimal.
I know Franimal.
At least you know these guys.
He was on my team.
Yeah.
I know.
Did you cut him?
No, I traded him last year.
Oh. Yeah, with one of your dumb trades.
For Brandon Nimmo.
Good God Almighty!
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
who did you trade him for?
I have no idea.
Probably
your trades weren't that bad.
I think he traded him for Schwarber.
You guys, yeah, I think so. You guys pressured me to trade so much, I just did stupid trades so you could shut.
Your trades weren't that bad, except you were like, "I'm going to."
The Schwarber one was really bad.
Like we had a trade, and
it was not the worst trade.
We had a trade you got worked out for you.
The trade that you got, what's his face? The kid from the Dodgers, Dustin May. That was a good one.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah,
that was really good.
No, me and Chris I traded him.
I think that's how I traded Franmil Reyes. Was that?
I didn't get Franmil, but I traded.
No, he means the Dustin May one.
Oh, he's actually right. I do remember he did trade. He traded like 4 like solid-ish guys, and he got like a bunch of young guys.
Yeah,
I got all hurt guys, and they're all back.
Yeah, and that was a good move. No, I traded him Lindor.
That's right.
For Weathers and Musgrove.
For Pete Alonso, right?
No, not Weathers. McCullers and Musgrove for Ozzy Albies and Max Fried.
Oh, yeah. That was a good trade
for me. That was a really good trade.
It was both sides.
Yeah, I was going to say that was kind of a win-win. You needed pitching really bad.
I'm so good at fantasy baseball.
Yeah, if you only committed to players that weren't the Mets. But yeah, Cleveland Guardians, ass. Next team.
Yeah, let's move on.
Oh, I had my hot take. Yeah, never mind.
Detroit Tigers, they were 77 to 85 last year, but after the All-Star break, they were one of the best teams in baseball. I don't have that exact record up here, but they were winning like 60 to 65%, maybe even 70% of their games after the break. So they were really good. They reloaded, and I think they're poised to make a nice little run this year. Notable additions, the strikeout king Javi Baez, Michael Pineda, Tucker Barnhart, and Eduardo Rodriguez. Notable departures, there aren't really any. It's Julio Teheran, Willie Peralta, and Jose Urena. I have their roster at a 6.9 out of 10.
They lost.
I think they have a really nice roster. Strength is young talent and balance, but they really lack like star power, elite players.
Yeah,
who is the super utility guy they
Nico Goodrum?
Yeah, I think like he's them losing Goodrum.
Texas now.
I think he went to Houston, but
Houston, something like that.
Yeah,
because I think it's a team we haven't covered yet for sure.
I didn't like him. Yeah, he's for Houston. I did not like them letting him go, if I'm being honest.
Their roster looks fine though, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you said the star power, but I mean, they're relying on 2 top 10 prospects in baseball.
True. 100%.
That's kind of and they both have star power. Torque and Riley Green both have star power.
Yeah. So opening day, record prediction. I have them at 85-77, second in the division. I think they kind of piggyback off their strong finish to last year with their retooling, with their prospects hopefully coming up in May. And I think they're actually a good ball club this year.
They're a team that makes me nervous just because, like, a lot of their success was like Candelario and Jonathan Shoup, like being pretty good last year. Akil Baddoo, like being pretty good last year towards the end, and it's just like, are those guys I'm willing to say second in the division for?
That's fair.
Their rotation, I actually did really like their Eduardo Rodriguez. They're kind of an interesting team because they get.
I like Pineda pickup too. I think Pineda's really underrated.
It was fine. Like it was fine, but
I think Tucker Barnhart
stuff.
I think Tucker Barnhart makes his rotation like infinitely better. He's such a great defensive catcher, so good at calling games. He's called a couple no-hitters in his career.
It's just like, for me with them, they play in the biggest baseball park in America. It is so hard to hit the ball out there. So it's like you can have some fly ball pitchers, which I think Eduardo is, and it work out for you. It's like you don't need crazy, but it's like they're planning on mashing. And I also think Javier Baez signing just kind of signals that they're gonna try and go all in the next couple of years or two with the guys coming up.
I think it was a good signing. I don't love Javi. We've talked about this off the pod all last year. I think he's a strikeout machine. I mostly was saying that wasn't what the Mets needed. They didn't need another home run or bust guy. I think he'll be good for this Tigers lineup if he can hit for average a little bit better. They need Javi to not be a distraction at the plate in the sense of like hitting 235 with 35 home runs. They need him to be like.
I think they're knowing exactly what they're getting in Javi, and it's just you're getting a guy with pop, and this is a team that needs a guy with pop. Like, they need to pop. So
I'm with you that the lineup isn't great, and so I worry about teams feeling like they need to even pitch to Javi. I feel like they're going to throw him out of the zone, see if he's going to chase, and if he does, it can get ugly early.
I'm telling you right now, Spencer Torkelson is that guy.
Oh, like, he's very good.
I'm a little less on Riley Green, but Torque is that guy. And so if those two guys come up and they're the phenoms that everyone expects them to be, like the lineup is pretty good. And Miguel Cabrera is like a confirmed DH, and not having to throw him at his old ass at first base anymore helps.
Did he hit his milestone for home runs last year?
Yes, 500 home runs.
That's what I thought he hit. I did. Yeah. I thought he did.
And I've actually been I love Miggy. He's one of my favorite players all time. Just he's class act. My hot take, I actually think Casey Mize has a sub-3 ERA.
Wow.
I really do. Casey Mize has got the stuff. People forget he was like a top 5 prospect in baseball like 2 years ago. So he's good. That's my and I don't think he will, but he could get a couple Cy Young votes if they're competitive.
Mine is that they make the AL wildcard game. My hot take is they sneak into the playoffs. I'm not saying they win the game or win a series, but my hot take is they sneak in the playoffs.
I just don't think it's possible.
My hot take is they have a winning record.
That's fine. I think they're right around that 78 to 84 win area. My off-season grade's a B+.
Yeah, I'm with you there. They everything they lost was not nearly as important.
I want to call Javi Baez's deal a butts and seats, whatever Ant calls it.
A BIS deal.
Yeah, a BIS deal.
I think they'll be better. I think they'll be good enough for it to be more than a BIS deal.
And historically, he's a Gold Glover.
Well, I wasn't finished. They won that nice little run, and they made a nice little season out of their sucky season.
I mean, they were like I said, they were 77 and 85. I have them just completely flipping that record, 85.
That might also be.
But
I was thinking about it the other day. That 2010 to 2012 era, Detroit, probably the greatest team that never won a World Series.
Yeah,
the team was unbelievable. They just had zero bullpen. All right, next team.
Kansas City Royals.
I like Kansas City a lot.
That would mean that they were third in the division or fourth in the division last year at 74 and 88. Notable additions: Bobby Witt Jr., who's their top prospect, Amir Garrett, and then they bring home Zach Greinke, which I think is kind of a feel-good signing for them. Notable departures: Irvin Santana, Wade Davis, and Greg Holland. Since you're excited, Jack, I'll let you take the reins on this one because I'm not as excited.
They're young. They're kind of like a lot of the NL Central teams where they're young and they're just bringing up a lot of young guys and they're seeing what they can do. 1 sec.
I have their roster graded as 6.7 out of 10 right now, and my prediction for them for this year is 72 and 90, taking dead last in the division.
So my thing is, they're not dead last. My thing is, I think that they may trade a lot of their cornerstone guys. I think if Salvador Perez is doing what he did last year, he's gone, and you have to move him. I get why you wouldn't, but
it's a crime they didn't trade him last year.
But like Whit Merrifield, that guy, right? Salvador Perez, pretty good. Benintendi is a solid player. Carlos Santana is actually a solid player.
Carlos Santana's really good still somehow.
Alberto Mondesi, really good. Bobby Witt Jr., really good. And they also have, my guess is that this year they're bringing up, MJ Melendez. He's their top prospect other than Witt, and he's their catcher. And so Perez is probably going to DH. And I'm saying, like, if you go through those names, like, it's not that bad. And Nicky Lopez was hitting 270 last year. Like, they've got some pieces. It's the rotation that's kind of a shit show. Daniel Lynch was not as good as they expected him to be. He was like the number 19 prospect last year, and now he's like,
they had a couple pitching prospects that didn't pan out exactly.
But it's also just like with pitching, it's kind of you just bring up and see who works out. Like, I feel like hitting like is more relevant to the top 100, but like pitching, I feel like dude just catches fire and you just bring him up. I think their lineup's going to surprise a lot of people. But I do think that they're going to sell out on their older guys for some top prospects. And I actually think my only thing is I don't like Bobby Witt that much. I think he's kind of overrated. I think he's got pop, but I think he's a low average guy. I think he's a high strikeout dude for the most part as well. Actually, that's a lie, but I think he's going to strike out a lot, at least his first year. My hot take, I think Zach Greinke puts together a 15-plus win season.
Wow. My hot take is Salvi Perez and Carlos Santana are dealt by June 1st. Or, I'm sorry, by July. Not June 1st. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that.
My hot take is this team takes second place in this piss poor division.
That's not a bad call.
2 through 5 could be anybody at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
So
off-season grade, they didn't actually do anything. So
they did all right.
They brought in Greinke. So I mean, like
I'll say like C plus.
Like they're stable. They're just like they've got.
They brought in the GOAT. Oh my god! You know what? This didn't cross my mind until just now. We'll get a whole nother season of like 20 Amir Garrett, Javier Baez matchups.
Yeah, one is significantly better than the other player, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to see Javi just continue to lose.
I mean, Kansas City, I give them credit. They're sticking to a plan. It's just they're very loyal to their guys who like have done them well, and I respect that as an organization. But it's like if Salvi Perez is on pace to hit fucking 50 home runs, like they got to
do what they did with Hosmer, just be like, we love you, but I'm sorry.
Well, Hosmer, they let him go in free agency because they're like, we're not paying you $170 million. It was Lorenzo Cain, I thought, was the bigger.
Yeah.
Or they let him go in free agency too, but that was a
little bit more.
That one hurt them, yeah.
A wound.
But Salvador Perez has been that guy forever, but like he can't play defense anymore. Like,
yeah.
We'll find out. But I mean, if he hits like 30 plus home runs, like you gotta move him.
Yeah, I agree.
Next team.
last but certainly not least, if you've been following along at home, then you know where I have the Minnesota Twins finishing in this division. They were 73 and 89 just a year ago. Notable additions. They made that semi-big, if you want to call it that, trade with the Yankees this offseason.
You're talking about Gary Sanchez.
Where they acquired Gary Sanchez for Josh Donaldson and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. They signed Sonny Gray, Dylan Bundy. Oh, and they also got Gio Urshela. That's right, that Gary Sanchez deal. They signed Sonny Gray and Dylan Bundy. Or actually, I think the Sonny Gray one was a trade. Was it not?
It was.
The Reds.
Yeah.
The Reds probably just got like a can of corn or something for him. Loaf of bread, maybe. And then obviously the big deal they signed with Carlos Correa, where he has opt-outs after every year of his deal.
It's the best deal I've ever seen in my life. It's awesome.
Well, they're second in the division for me.
Same.
The third.
I have second place, 83 and 79. Notable departures were Andrelton Simmons. He went to the Cubs. Michael Pineda, we just talked about him a couple minutes ago. He went to Detroit. Alex Colomé, Mitch Garver, who was traded to the Texas Rangers. And then Josh Donaldson, like I mentioned, went to the Yankees. I have their roster grade at 7.1 out of 10. This lineup's going to be pretty tough if they can stay healthy, this lineup's going to be pretty tough. There's not going to be a whole lot of breaks in this lineup. We're looking at a lineup featuring Gary Sanchez.
He's a Luis Arias. He's not even.
Well, I'm just going down by position. Gary Sanchez, Luis Arias, Jorge Polanco, who was a monster a year ago. Carlos Correa, we know is a stud. Gio Urshela is a suitable hitter in like the 6 hole. Alex Kirilloff, who had a good year until he got hurt. Byron Buxton, if he can stay healthy, we know he's an elite player, elite speed, elite power, but it's obviously a huge question mark with him. Max Kepler had a really solid year, and if he's got that much protection in the lineup as like the 5 hole, he'll be a stud. And then obviously Mr. Home Run or Bust, Miguel Sano at the DH with Sonny Gray as their opening day starter. Obviously, the pitching rotation's a little weak, but my hot take is that they are. I don't know why I have it written.
That's not even their end of year starting lineup, because they've got Austin Martin and Royce Lewis coming up this year.
Austin, they'll probably kick like. I'm trying to think of. They'll probably kick Kirilloff to first to put Austin Martin in the outfield, and then probably put.
Sano's DHing. He's not, and Luis Arias is kind of going to be like all over, but Sano, they just got a DH. God, Gary Sanchez is so bad. We'll see. I mean, there's also no guarantee that Lewis or Austin Martin are good, but this is also, the Twins are always hurt. Carlos Correa, always hurt. Byron Buxton, always hurt. That Jose Barrios trade was a steal, though. I think Barrios is really overrated.
That's fair, I think.
I thought pulling in Martin was a great pull, but they're gonna mash Gary Sanchez, Kepler, Sano, Correa, Buxton, and even maybe Kirilloff could all hit over 25 home runs.
Oh, 100% agree. They could all hit over 30.
Gio Urshela he's so underrated. I don't know what the Yankees were doing, man. Like, it
was a very odd trade. They got older and took on more money.
They wanted IKF, who's really he's like a tool. He can go anywhere.
He's just such a tool, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a Dylan Bundy defender my entire life.
You're a Ted Bundy defender? What?
Yes, that's the guy. That's the one.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here, man. I love guys.
Jack loves a Deshaun Watson deal.
There's nothing like guys who take advantage of women, and I'm like, heroes.
That's my guy.
If you guys come in here,
Jack's favorite actors are Bill Cosby and Kevin Spacey.
I know it's like not. I know it's not on my wall over here, like on the behind my computers. It's just like a bunch of posters of like serial abusers, and I wake up every day knowing that how can I be like them?
You're not, because they could all beat up and cheat in a fight.
Their pitch, they couldn't, but I can.
Chris is getting reeled back in here. I love it.
Yeah. Their pitching is going to be god awful though. So
the Sharkies are reeling me in. That's the problem.
They're the opposite of Cleveland.
Let's have another.
But
will you bring me one?
Oh my god.
My 22 season hot take is they're starting pitching away from being a sleeper ALCS team. That is not like the same take I have with the White Sox. I think they are an ALCS team. I think that the Twins could get into a ALCS if they were adding a starting pitcher, maybe 2. It would depend on who's on the market.
ALCS,
that kind of thing.
dude, you're insane.
I know, and you didn't get any context for that, so shut the fuck up.
Oh my Lord, it's a family.
See yourself
show.
back to the refrigerator.
I had to get another one. I'm thirsty. I feel like a 13-year-old boy. I'm falling asleep here listening to you guys, 2 old asses talking about baseball.
You're what's wrong with the sport.
I love my team. All
I'm
right?
kidding.
I would say my hot take is I actually think Miguel Sano hits 250 with 35 to 40 home runs. I think the shift is going to help him.
I pick him back up. Shit.
I love Miguel Sano. I've just been a Miguel Sano guy since day one. I've always believed that he's going to blow up.
My hot take is Carlos Correa gets dealt at the.
You've got two MVP candidates on the team, possibly. And
who's
Buxton
your second?
Buxton.
Buxton.
Buxton last year before he got hurt was the MVP.
Oh, I agree. He was good. He was on pace to hit like 30 bombs and steal 30 bases.
Steal of a contract too. I know he's hurt all the time, but it was like 6-7 years and like 115 million or something.
Yeah.
Like steal.
Chris, if you saw Correa getting dealt, where do you think he'd get dealt? Based on a reasonable suspicion of who would be the top 2 to 3 teams in each division. What team?
You gotta think it's a spender. And you got to think it's a team in contention. I could see.
I have one in my mind that it could be.
I could see.
We're about to talk about them.
I love to see. I don't think he goes to the Brewers. I really don't see. I kind of.
No, he's saying the Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals. You think the Cardinals?
I was saying the Brewers, but
no. Willie Adames was an absolute superstar for them last year.
I know, but they could put one of them at like 3rd. Is my point.
I also don't think they have the assets for the move.
If Anaheim's willing to spend the money,
yeah, that was mine.
I could really see the Angels pulling.
I love that.
Deal.
I was thinking the Angels would, because that would be the dumbest thing in the world for them to do.
Yeah,
just because they have no pitching.
Could you imagine that lineup?
They just refuse.
No, they've signed some pitching.
Rendon and
they
Correa.
signed Cinder.
Noah.
That was it. We'll talk about the Angels next week. It's like that's a projected move for them. That would be the most injured but dominant hitting team.
Exactly. That like 2 to 5 would be unreal.
I think they're going to
imagine that, man. Ohtani, Trout, Rendon and Correa.
Dude, Jared Walsh, and then Brandon Marsh and Joe Adell are there, and then David Fletcher, the most underrated player in baseball.
Like that team would be nasty as fuck.
Mashing, but they'd always be hurt.
Yeah, they'd always be hurt.
It's you got to be right. I think the Yankees will probably do the trade.
They're the Phillies of the NFL. Or the Jesus.
Because Correa is basically like a 1-year deal.
How many Sharks have I had?
Is the Phillies of the NFL?
I meant the NL. I'm throwing F's in there.
You mean the Phillies of the American League?
Yeah, that's what I'm. Well, wow, God, the AFL.
Oh man, Chris, you're funny. All right, let's jump to the NL Central. How many sharks have I had? Jeez.
Dumpster fire, man.
We got 2 drunk guys and a heat stroke guy at the
New podcast name: 2 drunk guys and a heat stroke.
Yeah.
All right, so Milwaukee Brewers were the first place team in the NL Central just a year ago at 95 and 67. Their offseason moves. This is a team that lost a lot, gained a little. So they're going to have some guys step up. We're looking at a Pedro Severino, Mike Brousseau from the Rays. So that's Severino from the O's, Mike Brousseau from the Rays, McCutchen from the Phils, and Renfroe from the Red Sox.
How did Renfroe can do it all, man? She's on the football field on Sundays.
Yo, y'all need some waters.
That was a terrible joke.
Jesus.
Notable departures: Brett Anderson, left-handed starting pitcher; Hunter Strickland, a flame-throwing relief pitcher; Avisail Garcia, and Dan Vogelbach, and most notably, Eduardo Escobar, who they lost to the Mets. I still have the roster.
Say it again. Who did they lose it to?
The Mets.
No, the Metropolitans.
I still have the roster graded at 7.5 out of 10. Their pitching staff is still going to be unbelievable. And I think that Hunter Renfroe is an upgrade over Avi Garcia. Obviously, Eduardo Escobar is a big hole, but McCutchen and Renfroe help the outfield depth. And I think Renfroe is a really, really good hitter. So My record prediction for them is a little bit of a step back, but still first place, 92-70. Very much a contender for me. Off-season grade, B-.
Off-season grade, fucking D. They're. I don't like their team at all.
What? Okay, give me a reason.
Like you said,
why it's a D.
Why it's a D? Who'd they add in the offseason? This is off-season grades.
Pedro Severino, Mike Brousseau, Andrew McCutchen, and Hunter Renfroe. They lost.
None of those guys are putting you over the top. Hunter Renfroe's good, but he can only hit from one side of the plate. Andrew McCutchen has been hurt and he's kind of washed. Like they can't hit at all. Like Colton Wong, Colton Wong was leading their team in average last year at 267. This is not a good team. They are ran by their pitching staff, and if they are one injury away from like Corbin Burns or Brandon Woodruff to being like third or fourth in division, this is a awful hitting line. And granted, it can change if Yelich comes back, but
I think it will.
But we're basing it off the last 2 years. Yelich has not been himself, right? Or he just hasn't been good anymore. Rowdy Tellez is awful. I don't know what they've been doing at first base. Willie Adames is good. I mean, what honestly killed this team was Keston Hiura not being any good.
I think he takes a step in the right direction this year. I'm not saying he's going to be like a 280 hitter with like 30 bombs.
Bro, if Andrew McCutchen and Rowdy Tellez are your first base and DH options, you got to give them a shot. Like,
let me run through what I have their projected starting lineup is. Day one. Woodruff on the mound. Omar Narvaez behind the dish.
Burns would be
it could be either or. Keston Hiura at first.
Colin Burns is going to be their starting pitcher.
Yeah, one won the Cy Young and the other did not.
Yeah.
It's just the favoritism for Woodruff because I have him on my fantasy team. Keston Hiura at first, Colton Wong at second, Willie Adames at short, Luis Urias at third, Andrew McCutchen in left, Lorenzo Cain in center, Hunter Renfroe in right, and that has Yelich at the DH because he's just not a good defender. He has a noodle arm, so you might as well throw him at the DH because Renfroe, Cain are both plus defenders, and then McCutchen. I guess you could put Yelich in the outfield and Kutch at the DH if you want, but like
Renfroe's a bad defender with an absolute rocket of an arm.
Well, but that's my point. Is Yelich is a bad defender with a noodle.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's that much of an upgrade. So what I've got is Colton Wong, Willie Adames, Yelich, McCutchen, Tellez, Renfroe, Narvaez, Cain, and Jace Peterson.
Omar Narvaez was really good last year too.
It was okay. I mean, catcher is just, if we're just like saying in like catchers, like he's probably like top 15, but nothing special. I think the pitching because of the shift is going to take a little bit of a hit. And I mean, and that's just baseball across the board. And I just don't think the Brewers can hit to say in it. My hot take. It's like I'm trying to think of a negative one, and it's just like
miss the playoffs. Or that's too obvious.
I'll say miss the playoffs,
or even go really balls and say they go under 500.
I'll do that. I think Brewers go under 500. I just don't think they can hit at all. Like these games are going to be close. Like if you look at this lineup right now,
my hot take is
if you look at this lineup right now, and rotation, right? Granted, the rotation's better. How much better are they than the Marlins starting lineup?
Christian Yelich.
Who's bad? Like he's bad now. Like or like the Guardians. Like at least the Guardians have Jose Ramirez. Like
you're not wrong.
They're all gonna hit like under 260, and they're just gonna win on home runs, and that's just not a good way to play.
I don't know.
My hot take for this season. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. You go. I thought you were going to be done. No, go ahead.
I'm just going to cut off all night. I just keep going. It's just fine. I'll really just have some time to think about what I want to say now. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah?
My 2022 hot take for them is they trade for Jose Ramirez to solidify
they don't
their
have
lineup in July. Dude, okay, but we've seen Cleveland make a trade with a star player involved for less than
who? Are you talking about Lindor? Except Lindor had to get paid that offseason. Ramirez
has like 1 year of team control.
He's got 2.
One, okay. After,
so
but it'll
this
be
year and next year. That's 2 years of control.
It'll
for
be
like $20 million.
It'll be a year and a half by the time this trade happens.
that's still a year and a half for Lindor was, I need the extension now.
And the Mets gave up nothing for him. They gave up Ahmed Rosario, who's a decent player. Andres Jimenez is not a good player.
How much did they pay Lindor?
200 and something.
$300 million.
$300 million.
That is why the result. A year and a half of Jose Ramirez is getting you an absolute haul, bro.
Jose Ramirez will hit 300 in 1 month and hit like 210 another month, and then
300. But the league views
the,
Jose Ramirez as the best third baseman in baseball.
It's the 250
that
games
is not
they have
true.
of his contract.
He is not viewed as the top third baseman in baseball.
Yeah, he is.
There's no way.
Yeah,
top 10.
Who's better? He's better than Machado. He's better than Arenado.
No, he's not.
Yes, boy.
Dude, Arenado is already an elite defender. Jose Ramirez is an average at best defender, and their hitting numbers are virtually the same.
Guys, is he better than JD Davis or not? Like,
no.
You're wrong.
I don't know why. I don't know if Jose Ramirez
you pull up
MJ or some shit.
Who are you pulling up? You pull up one, I'll pull up the other.
I have Jose Ramirez last year.
Okay.
266 with 36 home runs in 152 games.
And and let's add in there that he is a bad defender, right?
I thought he was an average defender. But...
Okay, average, sure. 2021 for Nolan Arenado was 255, 34 bombs, 105 RBIs. What was his OPS plus?
I said, what's his OPS? Yeah, I was just going to ask that. What's his OPS plus?
I'm just looking at the fucking Google. I actually have to go into
go to Baseball Reference.
983. Or sorry, Jesus, 8.
I was like, holy shit. Wait, no.
Oh, OPS plus is 141. Sorry, I was just looking at OPS.
All right, Arenado's was 121. That's 20 points difference, and you're getting an absolutely cornerstone elite defender.
Ramirez is better, bro. I'm sorry.
He's
better.
You're picking. You're splitting hairs. It's just.
You could say if someone said Jose Ramirez is a top 10 player in baseball, I don't know if I argue. The dude hit 103 RBIs with the worst lineup in baseball. The dude's elite, and he thinking that a team okay, if you go to the top 100 prospects in baseball, which granted I understand is not the most important thing for farm systems, but for fans, it's just a good way to look. They've got two guys and they're 70 plus. And their projected come up is 2025. Yeah, they've got the Sal Frelick projected 2024 and Joey Weimer projected 2023. And it's number 70 and number 100. Those two do not get Jose Ramirez, considering that the Blue Jays rumored was Nate Pearson and Jordan Groshans. No shot the Brewers are getting them. Unless Jose Ramirez is dog shit this year. Which, could happen. But Brewers are bad. Next team.
Brewers I have them finishing, like I said, 92 and 71st in the division. I think they run it back. St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals are second.
The number one team in the NL Central this year.
I have them at second.
They could break 95. I really, really like their team.
Notable additions: Steven Matz and Corey Dickerson. Notable departures: Michael Wacha, Carlos Martinez, Matt Carpenter, John Lester, J.A. Happ, and then Andrew Miller retired. So
they lost a lot of
starting pitching.
Cardinals, yeah.
They did. They actually did nothing last year. Well, Michael Wacha wasn't on their team last year.
I thought Michael Wacha left. Yeah,
he was on the Rays.
You're right. That's my bad. I think did he get traded?
He went
to the Rays all
He went to the Mets and then went to the Rays.
Yeah,
you're right. That's my bad. Sorry.
Because we shipped him to the Rays for that one guy. I can't remember. We don't even really use him that much last year. Remember the really old guy we got? The Mets did. He was 41 years old.
Oh, Rich Hill.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he was a part of that deal, I believe.
Rich Hill was decent for you.
I think he played 5 games.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he started at the end of last year. He got signed somewhere though. He's playing again.
Good for him.
Yeah. Listen, man, my bone to pick with the Cardinals is their starting pitching is going to be just so bad.
Your bone to pick with the Cardinals is you hate the Cardinals.
Yeah, no, listen. There is no team.
Let's go to the unbiased Cubs fans.
No, I'm just saying, bro, I'm saying they're going to be first in the division. I hate this team more than the Packers. I hate them more than the Villanova. I hate the Cardinals more than any team in all of sports. And it pains me to say that they're going to be the number 1 seed. Or sorry, first in the division.
The Mets already have that line.
Yeah, sorry. The Mets are just an absolute unit that you can't beat. Dude, their lineup is juice. And they've got help on the way, too. You're right that I actually really like Steven Matz.
Now, here's a question for you, Jack.
Yes.
Now that there's a DH involved, I know Dickerson may be the DH, but could you see a team like the Cardinals, who I feel like have a fairly strong farm system? They've always had one.
Did you see him trade for David Ortiz?
Not David Ortiz. I'm talking about Jose Ramirez.
No, but only so their top two prospects are both
third
baseman. And
Nolan Gorman's going to be so good.
He's going to be really solid. And he's coming up this year. And then Jordan Walker's our other one.
Okay.
Who I do see. The thing is they need a lefty really bad.
You know what's funny, Jack? We are polar opposite on the Brewers and the Cardinals. You're gonna hear it with my hot take. We're polar opposite. I like it. This is really interesting.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for who's Nelson Cruz. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
They're gonna start Dickerson there, but it's like
what a dumb.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. They're not a bad
they'll
team
get something for him.
I wouldn't be shocked if they just call Conforto and say, "Hey, you want to play a year at DH?" Why not? But okay, so they're projecting lineup.
They have Corey Dickerson there. They don't need to just bring Conforto in.
I'm just saying,
Corey Dickerson is better than Michael Conforto. It's true. Wait.
Say that again.
Corey Dickerson is better.
You have the worst takes. I swear.
Truly, he's god awful, man.
He's just terrible.
Pull his baseball reference up. We're gonna look at career stats.
I'm going through the Cardinals because this pod's going a little too long. Tommy Edman, second base. Paul Goldschmidt, unit. Tyler O'Neill, Arenado, Dylan Carlson, most overrated player in baseball, Yadier Molina, Dickerson, DeJong.
How is Yadier Molina overrated?
Bro, his career WAR is 2 higher than Jason Kendall.
I forgot about Jason.
So
Kendall,
overrated.
Oh gosh.
No,
he's the greatest defensive catcher probably of all time.
So pitching, that's not true.
That's very true.
Pitching wise, so they're projected, and granted, Adam Wainwright, who was really good last year, but he's old as dirt.
I was just going to say that.
Miles Mikolas, good, always hurt. That's whatever. I actually
Who
really
cares? Let's speed this party up, everybody.
Dakota Hudson, who's solid, and Jake Woodford, but they also have oh my god, yeah, Matthew Liberator or whatever. He's coming up this year. He's a starting pitcher. So I my hot take is over 90 wins. I think you could see
Dude, look how many departures the Reds have. Jeez.
Dude, I'm so excited.
All right, let's move on. The Cardinals are very good. They'll probably get first place.
My hot take for the Cardinals is they implode due to lack of starting pitching. So
that's fine. That's a bad take.
Is that what you want to happen, or you think is going to happen?
Oh,
that's what I think is going to happen. They're not going to.
I would love to happen.
I'm just checking.
I just don't think they're going to be able to pitch for shit. At one of these days, Wainwright's arm is going to fucking fall.
Here's my thing about the Cardinals: you can't disrespect how good their fans are, though. They have probably
they're the most annoying fans in all of sports.
Yeah, but they have
and Jack Flaherty is starting the year again on the injured list.
Isn't he coming back though? He's coming back. He's projected to come back this year.
He's projected to miss a month.
Is he on my team? I think he's on my team.
There's 162 games in baseball.
My point is he was projected to miss a month last year.
That's only 5 starts.
Dragged on. I don't know. I'm questioning whether or not Flaherty's going to be able to stay healthy.
But no,
and then their rotation.
We got to say potentially he stays healthy. Let's say potentially he's there in a month.
That changes my mind a little bit.
I think my hot take is Flaherty, if he's back in a month, could get Cy Young consideration this year.
No way. We already have 2 Cy Youngs in New York.
I'll talk about the Reds. I'll make it short and quick.
I'm ready to just burn the fuck. Well, the Reds were better than the Cubs last year.
83 and 79 last year. Notable additions: Tommy Pham, Jake Fraley. So they signed Pham. They got Fraley in the deal for Winker. Strickland, they signed from Milwaukee. Justin Dunn, they got in that Winker deal. Hunter Green is expected to be there day 1 this year, I believe.
That's good for them.
He needs to come out of the pen, though. I'm hoping he will. They signed Mike Minor, which I kind of like.
They said he's got a rotation spot.
Yeah, I don't like that. He just throws so hard. I feel like he's going to have Tommy John. But notable departures: Sonny Gray, Jesse Winker, both were traded. Amir Garrett signed with the Royals. Michael
Where did Lorenzo go?
Lorenzen?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know if he's even signed. I haven't seen his name.
I'll miss him. I liked him a lot.
He's a good dude. He is a great story. But Nick Castellanos obviously signed with the Phillies, as we covered last episode. And then Michael Givens, I believe, signed with the Cubs, which we'll talk about next.
Give me a minute. I'm letting the dog out in my room.
Right now, I have them at 77-85 in third place in the division. I think they'll be better than people think. Their lineup looks very similar to last year. Replacing Winker.
Doesn't. They're missing their two biggest pieces.
Who?
The Reds?
I mean, okay. Nick Castellanos, obviously. But okay, so
Winker,
two other guys are
their best two all-stars are gone.
Wait, what do you say about the Reds? You think
he said their lineup looks exactly the same. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
That's not what I said. Oh, wait. That's not what I said. I said the lineup looks very similar. Tyler Stevenson, still here. Joey Votto, still here. Jonathan India, still here. Kyle Farmer, still here. Mike Moustakas,
hold on.
Nick Senzel, still here. Tyler Naquin, still here.
You just named 7 ass players. You just totally disregarded your best 2 players.
Tyler Stevenson hit like 280 last year. Joey Votto was like
Stevenson barely played last year.
Yeah.
Stevenson played every other day last year. He played 80 games.
80.
That's
listen, bro.
That's like playing 8 games.
He was running for Rookie of the Year.
That's playing 8 games in the NFL. That's nothing. That's literally nothing.
He played every other. He started every other day. He played every day almost.
This team has got arguably the worst owners in baseball. They are horrendous, man.
That's like saying the 2019 Patriots are exactly the same as the 2020 Patriots. Tom Brady, who's that guy? He's
just named 7 guys. I named 7 dudes.
You missed your best 2 guys.
Sonny Gray's gone too.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray was not good.
What? Dog, I did not live in Cincinnati for 4 years to get the most. Sonny Gray's an MVP or Sonny Gray's a Cy Young candidate. He's that best pitcher.
I never said that. You have no receipts for that.
Yeah, bro, you said Sonny Gray should be a Cy Young. His like one good year in Cincinnati. Oh my God, this guy. Dude. They're bad. They're dog shit.
I said I have their team.
It's funny as shit that they let women beater Trevor Bauer be like, hey, this is an all-in team to get a wild card and get swept. They should have traded that guy for some prospects. They're awful. Joey Votto may be questionable sometimes, but he deserves better.
I have them, like I said to Chris when you got up, 77-85, third in the division.
Worse. Third? They're not better than the Cubs, and the Cubs are bad.
They are, baby.
They're not better than the Cubs, and they're bad.
They're both shit. Who cares?
Man, I'll tell you though, I am a little sad Nick Senzel hasn't panned out. I thought Nick Senzel was going to be that guy.
I think he has a good year if he can stay healthy, but that's been his question mark, obviously.
So I like Tommy Pham, but you guys are. I mean, my hot take is Castillo's gone the second he has a good start.
Mine is that they deal Votto at the deadline. It's going to be painful, but they're going to be out of it. And I think if he has a really good year, I think they'll finally. That's a hot take.
Clause? Doesn't he have a no trade clause?
I think yes, but I think he would waive it to be on a contender. He's like 36, man.
He doesn't give a shit. I just think like he recognizes like Hall of Fame legacy kind of stuff.
Well, I guess Cincinnati's probably like the prime place to be.
I'd actually say Moustakas has a pretty hot year this year. I think he hits over 30 home runs, has a nice little resurgence. I really like Jonathan India. I think he could hit like 280.
I think India is going to be a stud.
This pitching staff is going to be so bad when they trade Luis Castillo, bro. This team is a dumpster fire. There any asset that they have this year that like is considered any good, they're trading ASAP. They're 4th in the division, and I may even put them 5th.
There's no way they're worse than the Pirates.
The Pirates at least have some young quality guys, man. They're calling up this year.
The Pirates aren't even going to win 60 games this year.
The Reds are that bad.
They're not.
So Reds are dog shit. That's fine. My hot take. They're dumpster fire that gets worse. So I can't even find a take of positivity on this. Luis Castillo has a Cy Young caliber year and gets traded at the deadline for a haul. It would be the perfect situation.
That's the highlight of your season. Yeah.
They should have traded Castillo like a year or two ago because he's 29 now. So,
yep.
On to the Cubs, 71-91 last year. Ton of additions to this team. Michael Gibbons from the Reds.
They got Coldplay's lead singer Chris Martin on their team now.
That's true. Michael Gibbons from the Reds, Chris Martin from the Braves, Daniel Norris from, I believe, the Tigers, Marcus Stroman from the Mets, Drew Smyly from the Braves, Yan Gomes from the Nats, Jonathan Villar from the Mets, Andrelton Simmons from the Angels. No, he was in
the Tigers.
He was just a journeyman. He's a journeyman now.
He was East. He was an East team last year.
No, he was in the Central Division last year.
Oh, he was in Minnesota, I think.
Thank you.
Clint Frazier, who was cut by the Yanks.
He was.
Suzuki.
Give me a minute.
And Wade Miley. This is Jack's team, so we're gonna just continue to roll through it. They're gonna be. I have them at 75, 87.
I can't wait to see how long it takes Jack to get sick of Marcus Stroman talking. Because as a Mets fan, I really defended him as a person. I liked that he used his voice, but it did get annoying at times when he just.
I don't have a problem with it. I feel like he didn't say anything that was like ridiculous.
He shit on the Mets on his way out, which I always have a problem with when players say they love the city and the team so much, and then they shit talk.
The Mets fans are pretty brutal.
Not as brutal as every other fan base in.
That's 100. I disagree. Mets fans were booing their own players last year.
Did you see our roster last year? Did you see how we played? They deserved it. They played like shit.
Sorry, what's the take?
Not a single hitter hit over 260.
We somehow got onto the fucking Mets.
In a lineup of Pete Alonso, Javi Baez, Francisco Lindor. How does that team not hit over 260? As a collective group.
None of those guys are average guys. Well, Lindor is, but.
Well, Alonso actually hit like 260, I think, but.
That's what I just said.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Cubs. I have them at 75 and 87, just below the Reds. That could change. I have to give the Reds the edge because fuck the Cubs, and I'm a Reds fan. So I think the Reds will be decent. I think the Cubs have a ton of question marks. They just have a ton. Like they're in a huge transition period with their roster. There's plenty of talent and plenty of potential. I just think there's a lot of changes, which is why I have them just slightly behind the Reds. But they could absolutely even finish second over Milwaukee if Milwaukee lineup falls apart.
I've actually
that won't happen. But so, Chris, you want to go first because I'll have like a long.
Yeah, you go with your long bit. I just was gonna say I've never heard of this Patrick Wisdom person ever in my life.
What? Yeah, like 30 home runs last year. Wasn't he rookie of the year?
No, he was. I don't think so, but he was really good.
I think. Then he was like third. I think he was third behind Rogers.
No. Jonathan India. You're saying Rogers was second. My bad.
That's like one of the first names I don't recognize on this.
Really?
So
he played third for him last year, right after they traded Bryant.
He's pretty good. No, he was there before Bryant.
Yeah,
but they had Bryant moving around to like every position. So one thing I'd like to say is like as a Cubs fan, like it hurts, but Jed Hoyer was right. He offered Rizzo like 4 years, $80 million. He offered Chris Bryant $200 million. He offered Baez $150, and they said no. We want to test free agency, and he got a solid haul for each of them of like good prospects, and they all took contracts worse than what they were offered.
Yep.
So like it hurts as a fan because they were the core, but like
it was worth it.
It was good business. Like it was good business, and it sucks. The thing is, like as like Schwindel was really solid last year. Contreras is a top 10 catcher in baseball. Ian Happ was cold as shit last year, but the year before he was pretty solid. Wisdom hit like 30 home runs. And then, I mean, Nick Madrigal is above 300 hitter. And I think Nico Herner is getting an opportunity as well. We also got the big thing in my hot take. I think we have the rookie of the year in Brennan Davis. I think he comes up in May and he is a 5-tool superstar. He is that guy. I'm all in. I picked him up at the end of last year in fantasy baseball. He's my guy. I'm riding that fucking tank. But it's just like even pitching wise, right? Marcus Stroman, really solid. Kyle Hendricks, really solid. Wade Miley can put together some good.
Wade Miley threw a no-hitter last year.
He's fine. Like, dude, Wade Miley is nothing special, but he's fine. It's like this year we're gonna see who we want to build the core around, which is going to be Seiya and Madrigal and Herner, at least for now, and then Brennan Davis when he comes up. I think they're clearly better than the Reds. I think there's clearly better pieces than the Reds that'll make them third. I don't think they're better than the Brewers.
That they're necessarily better than the Reds. I think they're just in a different position than the Reds. I think the Reds are kind of in that position where they now
they're both rebuilding.
They're both rebuilding.
I think the Reds are like the Cubs of last year. The Reds haven't gotten rid of.
Sure,
like,
yeah. Then the Cubs started the rebuild.
Step ahead of the Reds rebuild.
So I would say that I know they're. Oh my God, we've got this guy named Amaya. He was a top 100 prospect last year, but he fell off a bit.
Oh yeah, Miguel Amaya, I think is his name.
Yeah, so he's a catcher who will probably come up like next year because we'll probably deal Contreras at the deadline.
I literally only know that from MLB The Show.
I just know that because I'm a Cubs fan, and that's fine. It's just like there's no one on the team to be excited for other than Suzuki. And
disagree. I think Contreras. Contreras
is a 30-year-old catcher. Like, I just think we're going to trade him. We haven't. He's wanted an extension from the Cubs, and we haven't even negotiated with him. I think Schwindel is exciting because he's like a journeyman who actually kind of balled out at the end of last year. But I think it's Seiya and Brennan Davis, and we're going to see what we have there. I think if Kyle Hendricks pitches well, I mean, dude's on one of the best contracts in baseball. We could probably get a haul for him considering what we saw last year when pitchers were traded. So it's like we're kind of in this weird mid-rebuilding phase. Apparently, we offered Correa like fucking 7 years, like $250 million or something. So like it looks like we're somewhat willing to spend, even though, but it's just like we're a few years away. We get that, and we just got to see the young guys. The hot take is Nick Madrigal leads the league in batting average. Gets the batting title.
I think a good pickup for them was Clint Frazier.
I agree.
Like, if you can get something out of him, if he can somehow pan out into a different place, like that's a great pickup.
May as well give him the opportunity. Yeah, I mean, like, why not? I mean, dude, it's the problem I have is we got Villar and Andrelton Simmons, and it's like, are we really going to play them over like Nico Herner and Frazier? Like, give the young guys a shot, see what we got in them.
Here's how I have their lineup shaken out day one. Kyle Hendricks on the mound, Wilson Contreras behind the dish, Frank Schwindel at first, Nick Madrigal at second, Simmons at the shortstop position, Nico Herner at third, Clint Frazier, Raphael Ortega, and Seiya Suzuki in the outfield with Patrick Wisdom at the DH spot. And my hot take is I think Seiya Suzuki finishes top 5 in MVP voting. I think he comes in, has a bonkers year. He's already into his prime in the sense of like an age mark. So he's matured as a baseball player to the sense where I think he can make the transition really quick. And he's juked,
bro. The only other thing I'd like to say about the team too is like we're like 15th in payroll, and we just got ranked like 4th, like most valuable franchise, which is bullshit. But Jason Hayward's gone in 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just like we're clearing out cap and we're getting ready to go after like the next big spree. Like I said, big watch out for Brennan Davis this year. He's gonna be that good.
Yeah, I guess I'll say this. I think the Reds could have a better season, but if they decide to be sellers at the deadline, I think they fall behind Chicago, even if they're in line with them at that point, because that's what we saw with the Cubs last year is them in Cincinnati were kind of just vying for third place. And
I think
then Cincinnati jumped up because the Cubs just traded everything. So
I'm just saying I'm looking at the current roster or like current projections, and I'm taking the Cubs over the Reds at this moment in time. Also knowing, and that's also knowing that Hunter Green and Brennan Davis are both coming up.
That's fair.
Also Lodolo's coming up, I think, for the Reds as well. And we didn't mention.
I think he'll be a later in the year, but yeah, I don't think he'll be in May, but I think that's there's.
All right, let's talk about a team who's doing it right though.
The Pittsburgh Pirates. They don't spend. I don't really want to talk about them much. Their team is going to be disgustingly bad. I have them at 55 and 117. They're going to be so bad.
Louise.
They were 61 and 101. So my math is off there. It's supposed to be 55 and 107. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm excited for the Pirates. I really am.
I just love how
I'm excited.
First baseman's name is Yoshi. That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick.
He is a meme guy for sure. 100%.
So, I mean, like, granted, all the guys are coming up like after May and in the next 2 years. But
shout out Vanessa.
Like Cole Tucker's a young guy and he's solid, right? I think Cabrian Hayes is a future superstar. Like I think he's a stud. He just got hurt last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've got let's see, 7 top 100 prospects in baseball.
Yeah.
They've got Nick Gonzalez and O'Neill Cruz probably starting day one.
O'Neill Cruz for sure. I'm not sure about Nick Gonzalez, but
he's up this year. Oh, and
yeah,
I mean Quinn Priester might even be up this year if they need pitching. And then
they will.
Yeah, Contreras will be up too, and he's like a top 100 pitching prospect, and he throws like 100 miles per hour. So it's like Like they're Henry Davis, they drafted with the number 2 overall pick last year. Like,
yeah,
it's the one, like everyone gives them shit, but they've got a plan and they're sticking to it. And I mean, I think they got who's the Adam, the guy they traded last year,
Adam Frazier.
I think they got like a solid haul for him.
And yeah, they did. They got a pretty
Brian Reynolds is going to get them a top prospect.
Yeah, I said that's my hot take is Brian Reynolds gets traded and the Pirates fan just like go into a frenzy of like, why can't we just like hold on to anybody?
I get it and I get the pain of doing it, but they're just going full tank mode and they are just collecting like Thanos, like just really good prospects. It's just, you need one of these guys to turn into a superstar. Like O'Neal Cruz has superstar potential. Brian Hayes has superstar potential. It's like Nick Gonzalez is going to be solid. He won't be a superstar, but like, and then Henry Davis will eventually be up but it's like there's going to be a point probably next year, the year after, where they're just going to have so many assets and all the young guys are starting to come up that they're going to go out in free agency and try to sign someone, or they're going to go and trade for like the Lindor or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. They're going to be the worst team in the league. They could be better than the Reds depending on how many young guys that they bring up. You can roll your eyes all they want. The Reds are going to be dog shit and they're going to trade everyone.
There's no way. I'm willing to put down a $20 bet right now that the Reds are not worse than the Pirates.
I'm not, dude. It's not like a hill I'm ready to die on. I just think it could happen, and I think you're kind of lunatic. It's a little lunacy to not think it couldn't happen. The Reds are going to be bad, and they're going to trade everyone.
Not Pirates bad though.
But the Pirates, like the thing is, like if Brian Hayes is that guy, maybe they hang on to Brian Reynolds all year. They bring up Cruz and Gonzalez, like. Suddenly that's 4-ish players that are solid. And
yeah, but you still got, I mean, you look at you got guys like Tyler Stevenson, even though he only plays like 30 games. You got Jonathan India, Mike Moustakas.
I can't do this with you.
Moustakas is getting traded. I mean, what if Stevenson, instead of playing only 80 games, plays like 84 games this year?
Ooh, no, he's going to play like 155 games this year because he's a starting catcher. Barnhart's gone. Stevenson's the guy. As long as the Reds just hold, let me pull this back up, and this is the last thing I have.
Stevenson has a fire walk-up song though.
I mean, I have no real hot take for this team other than if O'Neal Cruz is starting day one, he could hit 30 home runs. He's got the power.
My steaming hot take for the Pirates is they win 65 games.
Could be better than the Reds.
The only two guys that are untouchable for me from a Red standpoint that are up right now.
There's only one.
Tyler Stevenson, Jonathan India.
Yeah. Tyler Stevenson is not untouchable.
You guys are sleeping on Tyler Stevenson.
I'm dead asleep on Tyler Stevenson.
You're such a dick.
Dude, call me melatonin, bro.
I was just gonna say that.
All right, you guys are assholes.
I mean, he could be. I mean, he just kind of gives. Who is the Evan Gattis? He kind of gives me just Evan Gattis vibes. Just I'm gonna go and mash.
No, he doesn't though. Tyler Stevenson doesn't hit for power much. That's his biggest like
spoof.
That's the biggest like bone to pick with him, I guess. Last year he was a 280.
I think his biggest bone to pick is he doesn't play all the games.
I think the biggest bone to pick is he's not that good.
Yeah, I think so too.
He hit 285 last year with 10 bombs, 45 RBIs in 112. He played 132 games last year.
He did? Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, and only 45 RBIs.
And he finished 6th in the Rookie of the Year voting.
Wow. That's crazy how he's gonna be just okay this year. Dude, if you guys trade Moose, Castillo, Votto, oh god, that team is gonna just be.
They're not going to trade all those guys until like July or August, though.
You guys are going to be dog shit before then. Like, listen, I respect you as a Reds fan. It's the only fandom of yours that like I respect because you can go to the game, and it's just like
that's such a stupid argument. Whatever.
I truly believe to be a fan, you got to have step foot in their stadium. If you're that far out,
this is not my fault.
Your dad was a bandwagon. Like, I'm sorry, he was. Like,
if you really want me to explain to you why, I will. But that doesn't need to happen right now. We need to wrap this up.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have anything else to say. Pirates are bad. I just think that they've got a ton of young guys, and
they're the steps in the right direction. The Pirates.
Yeah, and it's like if you look at every other like like what other team in baseball has like young rebuilding team is more like prospects and like than them at the moment?
Miami maybe, but that's it.
Miami can't hit. Miami's got no one who can hit.
Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Okay. I would just say like at the moment, like
they've
got hitters. It's just they've got hitters and the Marlins don't. So it's
I think you're overrating Pittsburgh. I think they're 2 years away from being like a reasonably decent team. I know you. No, I know you hate the Reds, but there's literally 0% chance the Reds are anywhere near as bad as the Pirates.
I agree, but it's just like if they bring up 4 of their top 100 prospects,
that doesn't make. That's great, but they're not going to win them more games than the Reds are,
bro. But if the Reds trade everyone, like
you're acting like the Reds have a bunch of idiots behind these guys. Alejo Lopez came up and played a little bit last year.
Well,
Jose Barrero is waiting. Jose Barrero.
No, don't get me wrong.
Really good.
Don't get me wrong. I'm really high on Hunter Green and Lodolo. Those guys could the pitching would be better than the Pirates, but like truly, I believe that the Pirates by the end of the year could have better hitting than the Reds. I don't think it's guaranteed, but
it's not ridiculous to say, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not ridiculous. It's not someone that takes anthros out there.
I'm just saying, like Reds protect the lineup, right?
You're also sleeping on my boy Ellie De La Cruz. He's been on fucking.
But he's not coming up this
year. I mean, probably not.
Don't get me wrong. Colin Moran. So you took Flowers and Colin Moran and Tommy Pham as 1-year deals. Both of them are solid players. But
I hope they're able to move off Tommy Pham.
Exactly though. If they're any good, you trade them. Moustakas, if he's any good, you trade him.
Mahomes just tweeted bro with like all these dots. I wonder what's about to happen.
I hope it's Kelsey. Or
everyone's like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
I wonder if it's Kelsey related, or if he's watching the Oscars, like I should be right now.
That's what someone said. I was assuming you're watching the Oscars.
Something must have just happened.
He's probably just being dramatic.
Oh, something happened with Will Smith apparently.
I think Chris Rock and Will Smith are fighting or some shit.
Oh, maybe.
Hold on, wait, let me.
All right.
What the hell was that? Oh my God, Oscars! The Oscars are going nuts right now. Oh, they're fighting.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
They got fist fight?
I think someone just punched someone in the face.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they're saying so. Some people are saying is this a bit?
Oh, I don't know. Anyways, we'll move on. I thought it was football related. Who cares about the Oscars?
We'll talk if it happens. Well, trust me, I'm gonna do a whole Oscars rundown on Wednesday. Also, I prefer Chris Rock over Wilson.
Also, shout out LeBron for scoring 40 points tonight and blowing a 23-point lead and losing to the Pelicans.
Pelicans are a good team, man.
They're not a bad team.
We probably have to have some NBA talk pretty soon. Is there anything else we want to touch on?
I don't think so.
Let's wrap this party up. I'm running on 2 hours.
Oscars, baby. Yeah.
So Thursday we will have the NL West, AL West for you. We will have some Oscar thoughts as well as some Final Four predictions. Maybe we'll dive a little deeper into the Final Four. I know we gave.
We kind of already gave.
We gave some.
How much can we really say?
That's fair. Maybe something else will happen, but
they're both good teams.
We'll definitely have some NL West, AL West for you. I'm sure the NFL will make their name heard, and I think we're getting real close. I think for Thursday's episode, we'll be about a week away from NBA playoffs. Am I?
We also probably gotta do some NFL draft stuff.
Yeah,
that's coming up for sure.
Also, just more personal life talk.
Yeah, for sure.
How much do they know us?
Yeah, that's a good point. Follow us on Instagram. All My Dogs Eat Podcasts. Me, I'm Anthony Raphael 6. Jack is Hafertepe Jack. Chris doesn't have an Instagram, but you can bully him in the comments. Twitter.
It looks like he did. Sorry for interrupting you. Will Smith went up and said, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." I socked him. To be fair, Jada sucks. Will Smith.
To Chris Rock.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
That's what it was. So who knows if it's a bit, but that's
I don't know.
Jada does suck, so.
Dude, yeah, she does. But Will's happy. So
Twitter.
I think Will's overrated. He's winning Best Actor tonight. That was good for him.
Yeah. Twitter at All My Dogs Eat. My Twitter is _Anthony Raphael. He's Chris Pags 5. He is JHalf_8. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music. We're going to try to get to YouTube here soon. And then we are going to start TikTok this week. which will be a fun little journey for Chris and I. I don't know if Jack's going to get involved in that a whole lot or not, but it'll be fun nonetheless. Thank you guys for listening. This was episode 9 of the All My Dogs Eat podcast, and we are signing off.
Love you. Bye.